Hey guys, welcome back to Houseplants Dream. Today I'm going to give you a quick tour of my living room and all the plants that are living in the living room. It's so nice to be able to have all these plants in the living room, and as you all know, plants do bring lots of joy into our lives, and I enjoy the fresh air and also that splash of green here and there and everywhere. Right in front of you is a Ficus longifolia. It's such an interesting tree. As you can see, it's putting out quite some growth, and I'm very happy with this tree. Initially it was living outside and I think it wasn't doing well because the sun exposure was too much. As similar to a lot of ficus, they don't necessarily need a lot of bright direct light, but that indirect light is very healthy and they just love it. And this tree certainly receives sunlight, indirect sunlight during the day, and it's loving its position, and it's fairly tall now. It's almost tall as me, and the lower leaves have just dropped off, and that's pretty common for ficus. And this is a little straw basket that I purchased to have this tree in. It's so beautiful, and a lot of people thought it's a eucalyptus tree, or at least belongs to that family because of the long leaves. However, it's actually a ficus, and I think there are so many varieties within the ficus family, and they're great house plants. So I highly recommend this one if you do find this particular tree in your local nursery. So that's that, and I think it looks beautiful in front of this like white backdrop. And let's move on to the feature wall area, which I have a beautiful pothos on a totem. If you've watched my videos before, you would have known this one was a gift that I received last Christmas. So it is a year old, and look how well it's doing. And ever since I purchased it, I added another piece of wood so that it can climb higher. As you can see, that's the original. This is add-on. So I added about 1 meter on top of what it was. So it's about 2 meters tall, and it's doing so well. And I generally water it just once a month, and it looks beautiful. And right next to the golden pothos is our little monk. So it's actually an outdoor feature planter, but I just love how peaceful it looks. Therefore I brought it inside, and I've got this neon potho that's growing happily in this planter. It is so beautiful. All our guests love this piece. As you can see, it is doing very well. Okay, so I'll just give you a quick pan of how it looks from distance. I really like walking into the house, seeing these two very healthy plants. And moving on to this side, it's where our TV is. The TV is just down here, and I've set up 3 little shelves, cubic shelves that house other plants. The first one is a variegated spider plants. They do really well in this sort of low light condition. This one I propagated from my old spider plant, and it's been doing really well. And over here I have a mix of neon pothos, then there's the marble queen pothos, golden pothos, and some Synahium. Basically they were just all cuttings that were sitting in a jar, and I just put all of them in one pot, and so far they're doing okay. And over here is a beautiful beautiful golden pothos that I grew from babies, and it's grown so much. It's been a year, I guess. So, and I think it'll look really nice once it starts trailing a bit further. And I'll give you a quick look of how it all looks like, just with the TV. And it's quite nice. And let's move to the other side of the living room, where I have a beautiful monstera, as you can see. It's on a plant stand. And I do like this sort of off-white-ish planter. It just provides that sense of tranquility. And this one's very healthy. This is actually a mature plant that I purchased from the nursery, unlike some of the other ones that I propagated. So this one has natural small leaves, because I think as they age, the leaves get bigger. So this one is still fairly young. So some of the leaves aren't even split, but these ones are. And it's very beautiful. And it's quite nice sitting in that entry position. And we're going to move across the room. This is my cat, she's having a nap. And this is her chair and her cushion. Yes, she's a very, very happy and spoiled little girl. Over here I have a Dracaena that I propagated. You may have noticed in the episode of Houseplants Gone Wild, I have a bunch of them growing in the garden. And so these are just cuttings, and they're fairly easy to manage. I noticed that they are the easier Dracaenas to grow compared to some other ones like the Son of India or the Tricolour, because I think those ones I generally haven't had much success, whereas this one, I think it's Lime and Cream, is doing really well. So there are 3 cuttings in it, and it's just growing on its own. And over here I have a Strawberry and Cream ficus. This one is fairly tall actually. It's about maybe 1.3, 1.4 meters tall. It was a rescue from the nursery. It wasn't getting enough light. As you can see, the gaps are massive when the plant was growing, so it got really lanky. By the time I got it, it's really tall and lanky. However, with just enough light, and it's been growing a bit better, and you can see the gaps have sort of decreased. And we also have a beautiful happy plant. That's just another type of Dracaena. This one's a little easier to look after. I don't tend to overwater my plants, therefore sometimes the new shoots don't come out for a long time, but that's okay. At least I'm not killing them. That's just my experience with Dracaenas, because they hold lots of water in their canes. So if they can manage to grow, say once a month I water them, then I wouldn't worry too much. And right in front of it is a peperomia, variegated peperomia. With this one I've learned something, which is peperomias actually like to be a bit like root bound, because when I had this one in a larger pot, it wasn't doing well at all. But as soon as I moved it into a smaller, significantly smaller pot, it's actually putting out new leaves, as you can see over here. Very cute new leaves, and it's doing really well. So I'm very happy, and I like the style of this one, sitting in a teacup. And right next to it is a jar of moss. So they're just local moss that I grow in a jar. I have another jar that is doing really well outside as well. So it's like a little terrarium for moss. And down here we also have a beautiful ZZ plant. So this one, I think the last time I watered this one was 6 months ago. I do need to give this one a clean because it gets really dusty. But yeah, they're really hardy, and this one actually gets fair bit of light. And I've noticed that ZZ plants, I guess they can grow in, like low light conditions, but they do benefit from having that sufficient indirect light, and they do enjoy it, and they do appear a lot healthier. So there you go. These are the plants in my living room, and I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.